Hello everybody, and before you get mad and maybe, dislike the video, comment a mentally deranged comment, maybe you should watch at least a quarter of this video, just maybe, to really get the grasp of what I'm trying to say here. Now, I don't hate Konekokitten, and I think he's a pretty cool person. However, today we're going to be talking about Konekokitten, and we're going to be criticizing him, completely uncensored, because even though I'll most likely get hate from this, I really want to go ahead and talk about this, uncensored, because I know a lot of people just only agree with him because he's popular. And I'm not going to do that. Nathrix. Anyways, let's go ahead and get this started. So if you guys have absolutely no background to the situation, let's just go over some tweets really quickly. So it all started with this guy named Shimpara Sharp and Cringe-tastic. I'm 99% sure that they're the exact same people, however, they could be two separate people. That's besides the point. All you really need to know for context is they believe basically the exact same stories, and they don't like Konekokitten, or at least aren't very fond of him. So what Konekokitten did was sell limiteds for actual money, which is against TOS. So basically all this went down on his Discord, which is mainly where the exposing happened at first. And Konekokitt's completely uncensored on his Discord, meaning he tells people to F off, etc. that are most likely 3-year-olds on his Discord, which is kind of sad, to be honest. I'm not sure why he does that. I personally wouldn't do that at all. It's just really dumb. And if he was somebody like Flamingo or something like that, he would have definitely got called out for this a long time ago and completely torn apart for this. However, since he's a discussion channel, I'm guessing that people just don't care that much, because I don't really care at all. But I'm just saying, maybe you should do that, Koneko. In general, that's not really seen as professional at all, which I'm guessing, it's his unprofessional account on Discord, so I guess that's the reason he doesn't. I really can't come to a conclusion on why he doesn't, because it's just really unnecessary. Anyways, back on topic. Konekokitten got called out by these people, and mainly it was on Discord. And on Discord, basically, this guy named Cringe-tastic was talking to him. And he was talking about Vermillion accounts. If you guys don't already know what Vermillion is, basically a site for people on Roblox who sell stuff limited to do underground work, like buying illegal Robux and getting paid through group funds. And just stuff like that, and hacker groups on Roblox that, go into games and exploit. In general, I would recommend not going to the site because it's where just a ton of toxic people are, actual toxic people. Not like me toxic, but actual toxic. The type of toxic that you can DDoS someone and dox them and just tell all their personal information and it just be normal on that site. So do not get into that community, otherwise it'll probably be really bad on your part. Now, this was back in 2016, and that's when Konekokitten had this Vermillion account. So this is pretty old. And just because something is old does not mean you cannot be criticized for it. Just like they criticize famous people for tweets that go back years and years, you can still be criticized for it today, which is why you don't do that kind of stuff. And you can see this out of the screenshot. It says, same name I go by anywhere, back when I sold my limiteds, lol. And this was said in 2018. And if you guys try to look up his Vermillion account, of course it is terminated, and theories have come up because he was terminated for account theft. So back then, did he steal people's accounts? We do not know. He actually denied this and said he gave it to somebody else as an excuse. So we don't really know if that's true or not. However, we do know for a fact that his account was banned for account theft. But then again, Konekokitten also says he did not use his Vermillion account. So it then brings up the question, where did he sell these limiteds then? Because the only website I really know of is Vermillion to sell limiteds. And that's actually where Sandra and stuff that I'll get into later bought her limiteds. So I'm not sure how Konekokitten sold it with apparently not using this account. Now, right now you might be saying, hey, if Roblox knows that Konekokitten sold limiteds, why aren't they banning him? Why aren't they banning him? Why aren't they banning him? Well, basically, the reason they're not banning him is because staff already knows and they don't care. And this tends to happen when YouTubers do stuff because they just don't care. A ton of YouTubers actually hack in games and never get banned because staff does not care sometimes. And this was one of the instances. Also, it was a long time ago and most likely on a different account, so that's also another reason why they probably don't care. Pause. So basically, go ahead and disregard everything I said about him working at Subway later on in the video. It actually happened in 2017, so he was doing YouTube, and he was doing pretty well on YouTube by my standards, if I'm being honest. And let's go and continue. Now, once Konekokitten got called out for this, obviously, people were saying, like, hashtag Konekokitten canceled, which I don't agree with. He shouldn't be canceled over this, because it was a long time ago. However, he can still be criticized, and criticizing isn't always canceling someone, as many of you know, but many of you don't know, because you guys are absolute idiots. However, I'm grateful for the smart people. Anyways, as soon as he got, like, quote-unquote exposed for this, etc., he released a tweet. Now, this tweet was uploaded for less than 2 hours, therefore, I didn't get a screenshot. However, I can go ahead and explain the tweet for you right now. Now, in my opinion, this is definitely a sob story, otherwise known as a story or explanation intended to make someone feel sympathy for the person relating to it. This was definitely a sob story by definition. Now, inside of this tweet, Konekokitten talks about how he was about to go homeless and he needed to pay rent, so he did all that he could do because he was living alone, and this was when I believe he was working at a Subway, and he needed to make rent, so he sold Roblox Limited for the money. Now, before you start going into tears and relating to this guy, just remember that he can still be criticized for this. Just because you could not make rent, all of that stuff, does not mean that you can just break Roblox TOS. Now, you can. However, you have to deal with the consequences that happen after that, which are, in consequence, getting banned, getting criticized, and people not liking you for that. And that's just what you have to deal with when you make sacrifices like this. And when somebody does criticize you, you have to respect their opinion because you did break the TOS, and people can and have the right to be mad at you for that. And I am again restating, I like Konekokitten. Konekokitten is a cool person. However, I just don't agree with some of the stuff he does. And I don't agree that nobody's giving him criticism that I saw. And it's not really that nobody's giving him criticism, it's that nobody's being taken seriously. That is giving him criticism. And he's literally doing the equivalent of doing the Fortnite L on head dance when somebody does give him criticism. Like Sharp gave him criticism and said, completely ignores everything. Okay, USD buyer, go back to scamming kids on Vermillion or telling your little fans to F off on Discord. And Konekokitten basically, like I said before, he did the Fortnite L dance and then said, having a melty because people aren't on your side, lol L. Just from that tweet, I would never have guessed that he is literally inside of his 20s. Anyways, that's besides the point. Konekokitten in general cannot be criticized at all because he's just gone to this point where he's such a big YouTuber that anybody that tries to criticize him just has all Konekokitten's fans attacking him. And of course, nobody at all criticized Konekokitten for this that actually had a platform, which is why, again, I made my channel to criticize people that people are too afraid to criticize that actually have a platform. Now, moving on to the section of the video where I talked about this stuff. So basically, this guy named Scrimmix, or I'll just call him Nathrix for now because that's what most people know him by, said, I cannot believe people actually care that you broke Roblox TOS 3 years ago to pay for rent. That's so disgustingly low of them. Surely nobody actually cares, and it's all for epic likes to hop on the Konekokitten train. Now, this is kind of hypocritical of Nathrix because he really cared when Sandra broke the TOS and bought limiteds, didn't even sell them. She actually bought them off the Vermillion site. So I mean, like, that's kind of like dumb when you really think about it, Nathrix, because you're kind of like being biased here. Anyways, guys, this is basically why I made the video, to express my opinion on Konekokitten selling limiteds when he did, like, in 2016 or whatever, because he had to pay rent. No matter that, still he can be criticized, and I basically wanted to also talk about how Nathrix is kind of like being dumb right there, and also I talked about how Konekokitten is basically impervious to criticism by people without a platform. Anyways, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like the video so more people know about this, and make sure you guys tell me your opinion on this down below. Do you agree with me? Do you hate me forever? And do you not agree with me? And make sure you guys comment like I watched the entire video if you actually watched the entire video, which I'm surprised this video is extremely long compared to what I usually upload. And I hope you guys like these kind of serious videos. Anyways, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and join my Discord down below because I'm always on there and you can argue with me about it because I love arguing. And goodbye.
Got my eyes on a computer screen, trying to work my digits in. I fidget with my lettering, but never with my sentences. I pause and check the clock, and it appears at 6 a.m. again. Another night wasted or another day finished, and my mind is steady running in place. I don't want to fall asleep, cause I got so much to say, but I don't want to stay awake and keep exhaustion at bay.